Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at this week's discounted cars in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, and as well taking a look at the new drip feed vehicle being the Vegero Zx, and the prize ride vehicle being the Mamba. I really like the Mamba. It's a $990,000 sports classic, which is very clearly based off of the Cobra in real life. So let's get straight into it. Let's start the video off with the Vegero Zx, a vehicle that probably everybody wants to see first, and it's an absolutely amazing looking vehicle, not to mention a big ol' wang on the back, but this car is very clearly based off of a late-gen Camaro, which I am a big fan of. In fact, I'm very tempted to make one of them just colored Bumblebee in my GTA Online garage, but this vehicle does come in at a pretty steep price tag of $2 million, especially because you can HSW upgrade this vehicle in Online, which means yeah, you might be dropping a couple million extra on this vehicle. But for me, unfortunately, I am stuck on PC, so I can't put the HSW upgrade. Although I will warn you, its handling is quite terrible, so do keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to turn any corners at high speed. You are very clearly just going to slide off the course and die. Either way, the Vegero Zx is a car that I'm going to be picking up because of how nice it looks, and with the HSW upgrades, it not only has looks, but it has top speed just like a true muscle car. Up next, we have the De Classe Mamba, which is very clearly based off of a Shelby Cobra in real life. I love the Cobra. Unfortunately, Rockstar didn't really give this vehicle good faith in the game. The Cobra in real life is known for its insane racing pedigree. In fact, this is one of the vehicles that did a great job in Le Mans and all other types of racing. Unfortunately, in GTA, that is not the same. But it is still a very cool vehicle to drive, and the fact that you can get a $1 million car for free in the LS Car Meet definitely makes it worth your time. You have to finish second place 2 days in a row, which is fairly easy as long as you own a tuner car or you're fairly decent at racing, and it's definitely worth the time in my opinion, especially because the tuner races in general only take about 5 to 10 minutes on average. Now, unfortunately, the Mamba does not have a great lap time, only having at around 22nd when it comes to the sports classics, and as well, its top speed is not the best either at 117 miles per hour, putting it in 17th place for sports classics. So, not a very fast car, not the best on handling, but it does look very cool, it sounds amazing, and if you have the time to get it, I'd highly suggest to put it in your garage. Making our way to the first vehicle discounted on Legendary Motorsports, we have the Annis S80RR. This vehicle normally cost a whopping price tag of $2.5 million, but this week it is $1 million off, sitting at $1.5 million. Honestly, if you have the money to spend on this vehicle, I would highly suggest to pick it up. Not only is it a joy to drive, but it actually has some fairly impressive handling because it is a Le Mans style vehicle. Sitting at a lap time of under 1 minute when it comes to the test course, this vehicle is the 8th best supercar when it comes to lap time in the game, also boasting a decent top speed of 123 miles per hour. Overall, this vehicle is a joy to drive, very fast, and it'll get you from point A to point B very quickly. So yeah, for $1 million off, I'd actually say that this is a very, very good deal. Up next, we have the Comet Safari. This is one of my favorite cars in the game. In fact, on my Broke to Billions account, I own this car with this exact paint scheme. The reason I like this car so much is because it's a sports car. It goes 120 miles per hour. It's got pretty good acceleration. It's all kitted out on the inside with the dashboard, the digital speedo. It's a really cool designed vehicle. There's a lot of customization, but as well, it's fast and it's got off-roading capabilities. And I mean really, really good off-roading capabilities at that. As you can see here, we'll easily climb up this hill, and because its suspension is so jacked, it just very easily jumps right over any terrain or inclination that you will try to fight. I absolutely love this vehicle, and this week it is off from its normal $700,000 price tag down to $355,000. For such a cheap price tag, if you really do enjoy off-roading, you enjoy rallying, hanging out with your friends, and just having a bit of fun, I would highly suggest to pick up the Comet Safari. This is honestly one of my favorite cars in the game just because of how fun it is to drive. Plus, it does actually hold a sports car-like top speed. Next up, we have the Desert Raid. This is one of my favorite off-roaders in the game, which is kind of funny because we just talked about one of my other favorite off-roaders in the game, but I absolutely love the Desert Raid. This vehicle is super good on an off-road class. It has a top speed of 106.5 miles per hour. It also has some of the best handling in the off-roading class at the 7th best. So overall, very good handling, great acceleration and top speed, and the best part about the Desert Raid is it will raid literally any desert. This vehicle has super springy suspension, which lets it climb basically over any terrain. And what's really weird is that this car is actually great driving on-road and off-road. You can see just turning here very easily sticks to the road. It's actually pretty insane how much grip this vehicle has. Definitely one of my favorite off-road class vehicles, pretty similar to the Draugr in handling, but I just think this looks cooler than the Draugr, so I personally like it just a bit more. Price tag normally comes in at $700,000, and you're going to get it $300,000 cheaper this week at a final price tag of $400,000. I think it's a pretty good deal, especially if you like this type of vehicle, but obviously with the choice of the Comet Safari and this one, I'd still personally pick the Comet Safari if you're only going to get one. Up next, we have the Gallivanter Bowler St. This is a vehicle, if I'm going to be totally honest, I didn't know existed in Grand Theft Auto Online until seeing that it was on sale for today's video. Coming in at a price tag of $667,000, not too expensive, especially because it is about $200,000 off, but at the same time, it really isn't anything insane. It has a top speed of 112 miles per hour, which isn't bad by any means for the SUV class, making it the 8th fastest SUV. It's also got pretty good handling, also being the 8th fastest in handling. I just don't really think that this is the best looking vehicle, and it's pretty expensive for a car that honestly looks just like the normal Gallivanter Bowler. Either way, I wouldn't personally suggest to buy this car, but it is still a pretty cool SUV and pretty fast one at that. And finally, we have this beast of a motorcycle, the Hakuchu Drag. This vehicle normally comes in at almost $1 million, but this week you can get it half off, which is actually a pretty good deal. The Hakuchu, if you do like motorcycles and you don't own it, is an absolutely amazing deal. First of all, if you do play on a next-gen console, you can get your hands on the HSW upgrade, but even if you can't, this vehicle still goes at a top speed of 126 miles per hour and carries the 3rd best lap time for all motorcycles in the game, making it an incredible contender even with some of the HSW upgraded vehicles. I really like the Hakuchu. Unfortunately, that car did not like it, but yeah, I really think it's a great motorcycle, and if you're a fan of motorcycles as it is, being able to save half on one of the best handling and top speed motorcycles out there is a great deal in general. I do want to point out at the end of this video, just in case anybody was wondering, I do know that vehicles like the Starling are on sale as well, just didn't really think it would fit into today's video on the cars. There is also the Banshee on sale, but since it's such a cheap vehicle already, I wouldn't expect many people to care as crazy as it is for the sale. And then the final vehicle we have on sale is the Dune Fav, but because 99% of people own the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, well, you can get it for free. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thought I'd break into all of the discounted vehicles that were quite important, and hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did learn something new and you wouldn't mind subscribing, then yeah, I don't know how to word that better. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'm gonna go get some sleep. Bye-bye.